When was the last time you said yes when every part of you wanted to say no? You felt it in your chest, that heaviness, but you gave in anyway. And later, you hated yourself for it. Not because you were kind, but because your kindness cost you something you couldn't afford, your peace, your time, your self-respect. You've been taught that kindness makes you good, that kindness makes you worthy, but no one told you that too much kindness can turn into a cage, locking you inside while everyone else takes what they want. Deep down, you know this. You feel it every time someone asks for just one more favor. Every time you smile while burning on the inside. Every time you put yourself last and hope somehow someone will notice, but they don't and they won't, because people take what you allow. And the truth, the more you give without limits, the less they value you. That's why you're exhausted. That's why you feel invisible. That's why the very thing you thought would bring love has only brought emptiness. But it doesn't have to stay this way. If you keep listening, you'll discover a truth that flips everything you've been told about kindness, and it will set you free. Every time you bend yourself to keep someone else comfortable, a part of you disappears. Piece by piece, you've been giving away your power, and now you barely recognize yourself. You smile, you nod, you agree, but inside, you're screaming. And here's the truth most people don't want to face. The world doesn't reward endless kindness. It exploits it. The ones who always give, always forgive, always put others first, they're the ones left behind. Not because they're weak, but because they never drew the line. Think about it. How many times have you stayed quiet when someone crossed you? How many times have you given your time, your energy, your love to someone who gave nothing back? And what did it leave you with? Empty hands, a tired soul, a life that feels like it belongs more to others than to you. This isn't generosity, it's surrender. And surrendering your worth is the fastest way to become invisible. But deep down, there's a fire that refuses to die. You feel it, don't you? That whisper telling you that your kindness has limits, that you're not here to be used, drained, or discarded, that your life was never meant to be a discount store where anyone can take what they want. The longer you ignore that voice, the more you suffer. But the moment you listen, the moment you decide enough is enough, everything changes. Because kindness without boundaries is self-betrayal. And every time you betray yourself, the world learns how to treat you. Say yes when you mean no, and they'll take more. Give without asking, and they'll never stop asking. Stay silent, and they'll believe your silence is permission. You can't afford to live like this anymore. Not if you want to breathe freely. Not if you want to feel alive. Not if you want respect. The cost is too high, and the pain is already proof. The question is, when will you stop letting the world write your story and start writing it yourself? The truth is, not everyone deserves your kindness. Some people see it as weakness. They don't hear, I care. They hear, I'm easy. They hear, I'll give and I'll never stop giving. These are the ones who drain you dry, who smile while they take, who vanish when it's your turn to need. They are not friends. They are not family. They are thieves disguised as companions, and every time you hand them another piece of yourself, they win. But here's the shift. You don't have to let them win anymore. You don't owe your soul to people who treat it like spare change. You don't owe endless forgiveness to those who never apologize. You don't owe access to those who only show up when it benefits them. Every time you cut one of these people out, you are not losing. You are gaining back the life they stole. Think about the weight you carry from saying yes when you wanted no. Think about the resentment buried under your smile. Think about the nights you've stayed awake replaying conversations, hating yourself for not standing up. That's not kindness. That's chains. And chains are meant to be broken. You've been told that good people never say no, that to be loved, you must always be available. But the truth is the opposite. Respect comes when you draw the line. Power comes when you choose yourself. Love comes when you stop begging for it and start demanding it by the way you live. This is not about becoming cold. It's about becoming whole. Because the world doesn't need another person who bends until they break. It needs someone unafraid to stand tall, to protect their worth, to show others where true kindness begins, within. Every moment you hesitate, every moment you give in, you teach others how little you think you deserve. But the second you choose differently, the second you honor yourself, the entire story changes. And that's when you stop being used and start being unstoppable. Every time you choose yourself, something powerful happens. The world starts to shift. People who only wanted you for what you gave them will fall away, and at first, it will hurt. You'll feel guilt, you'll feel fear, you'll wonder if you're doing the wrong thing. But that pain is not loss. It's the sound of chains breaking. It's the first breath of freedom. And here's the secret most never realize. When you stop pouring into the wrong people, you finally have the strength to pour into the right ones. The ones who see you, who respect you, who never needed you to shrink just to keep them comfortable. This is where love grows. This is where trust thrives. This is where your kindness actually matters. But none of this happens until you decide, until you look at the pattern and admit it ends with you. Because every day you stay silent, every day you give yourself away, you teach the world a lie, that your worth is less than theirs. And the longer you keep teaching it, the more they'll believe it. The urgency is real. Life doesn't wait for you to set boundaries. People won't suddenly wake up and treat you better. They will keep taking until there's nothing left, unless you stop them. And the moment you do, the moment you reclaim your voice, you'll feel something you haven't felt in a long time. Power. The kind of power that doesn't shout, the kind of power that doesn't beg, the kind of power that doesn't need approval. It's the quiet strength of someone who knows their value and refuses to discount it ever again. That's when you stop chasing respect and start commanding it. That's when your kindness stops being a weakness and becomes a force no one can exploit. Because kindness is not about saying yes to everyone. It's about saying yes to yourself first, so that every yes you give others actually comes from strength, not fear. And when that shift happens, you stop being someone who is used, and you become someone unforgettable. There comes a moment when you have to decide whose life you're really living. Is it yours, or the version everyone else expects from you? Because if you keep giving away your time, your voice, your heart, then you're not living, you're surviving. And survival is not why you were born. You were born to create, to build, to rise, to lead. You were born to stand in your own power, not to hand it away piece by piece. Every choice you make tells the world how to treat you. Every boundary you set teaches them your worth. And every time you break the pattern of pleasing, you're not just protecting yourself. You're rewriting your future. Imagine the strength of a life where your yes actually means something because it comes from freedom, not fear. Imagine the peace of knowing that no one owns your soul but you. Imagine the respect that follows when you no longer beg for it, but embody it. The cost of staying the same is too high. You already know what it feels like to be drained, dismissed, invisible. You know that pain. But you don't yet know the power that's waiting when you choose yourself first. That power is unstoppable. That power transforms relationships, careers, entire destinies. And the only thing standing in the way is the lie you've been telling yourself, that being kind to everyone makes you good enough. It's time to end that lie. It's time to rise above the fear of being disliked, the fear of letting people down, the fear of walking away. Because the truth is, the people who truly matter will never ask you to destroy yourself to keep them happy. And the ones who do, they were never worth your kindness to begin with. This is the moment. This is the choice. Keep giving yourself away until there's nothing left, or take your power back and finally live the life you deserve. The life you want will not come from pleasing everyone else. It will not come from being the one who always bends, always sacrifices, always hides their own needs in the shadows. That life only leads to regret. And regret is heavier than rejection. Regret is colder than loneliness. Regret is the voice that whispers, "You should have stood up. You should have said no. You should have chosen yourself." But you are not too late. The strength you've been waiting for isn't something you need to find. It's already in you. It's the part of you that's tired of being walked over. It's the part that burns every time you let yourself down. It's the part that refuses to die no matter how many times you've been drained. That part of you is begging to be unleashed. And when you finally let it out, when you finally decide to stop being kind to everyone, something shifts. People start to see you differently. They stop expecting your silence. They stop assuming your compliance. They feel the difference because you carry yourself differently. You no longer chase approval. You command respect. You no longer beg for love. You attract it by living in truth. This is the turning point. This is the moment you choose power over pleasing, courage over comfort, freedom over fear. And once you taste that freedom, you will never give it up again. Because nothing feels better than living life on your own terms. Nothing feels stronger than saying no without guilt. Nothing feels kinder than finally giving yourself what you've been giving everyone else. Your kindness was never the problem. The problem was where you spent it. From this moment forward, spend it wisely. Give it to those who value it. Protect it from those who abuse it. And above all, never forget, the first person who deserves your kindness is you. The world doesn't remember the ones who stayed quiet, who lived small, who gave everything away until there was nothing left. The world remembers the ones who drew the line, who stood firm, who refused to be broken. And that is who you are meant to be. Not a shadow of yourself, not a doormat for others, but a force that cannot be ignored. Every no you speak with conviction adds power to your yes. Every boundary you set is a declaration that your life is your own. Every time you choose yourself, you rise higher, and those who only came to take will fall away. That is not loss. That is liberation. Your future depends on what you tolerate today. Keep tolerating disrespect, and it multiplies. Keep giving away your time, and it vanishes. Keep betraying yourself, and one day you'll look in the mirror and not recognize who you see. But if you stop now, if you break the pattern today, the world shifts. Respect finds you, love meets you, peace follows you. This is the moment where fear either owns you or frees you. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of standing alone, these are illusions. The real danger is staying the same. The real risk is never knowing how powerful you could have been if you had only chosen yourself. So stop being kind to everyone. Start being kind to yourself, fiercely, unapologetically, relentlessly. Because when you honor yourself first, the right people rise to meet you. And the wrong ones? They fade into the background where they belong. Your life is not a gift for others to take. It is a fire to protect, to nurture, to let burn brighter than it ever has before. The question is no longer if you're ready. The question is, how much longer will you wait? Every time you wait, the chains tighten. Every time you delay, you teach others that their comfort is worth more than your freedom. And the longer you play small, the harder it becomes to remember that you were never meant to live this way. You were meant to rise, not shrink. You were meant to lead, not follow. You were meant to live boldly, not quietly disappear beneath the weight of everyone else's demands. This is the breaking point, the moment where everything inside you either surrenders or explodes. You can keep letting life drain you, or you can draw the line so sharp that the world finally knows where you stand. Do not mistake this for cruelty. It is not selfishness to protect your soul. It is survival. It is strength. It is the only way to become who you were always meant to be. And when you choose it, when you decide that your worth is non-negotiable, the world bends. Opportunities open. Relationships shift. The right people come closer because they can feel your power. The wrong people scatter because they can no longer control you. This is what happens when you stop apologizing for existing and start demanding the respect you've always deserved. Time is slipping away. Days are turning into years. If you don't make the change now, then when? If you don't speak up today, how many more tomorrows will be wasted? You are not promised endless chances. You are not promised forever. You have this moment right here, right now, to take back your life. And the only thing standing in your way is the lie that being kind to everyone makes you worthy. The truth is clear. You are already worthy. You don't need to prove it by sacrificing yourself. You only need to live it by choosing yourself. And once you do, you'll never go back. You already know what it feels like to be empty. You already know the exhaustion of carrying everyone else's weight while your own heart is starving. That life has taken enough from you. It has stolen your time, your joy, your peace. And the longer you live like this, the more it robs you of the future you were meant to claim. There is nothing noble about letting yourself be destroyed. There is nothing righteous about bleeding for people who never even say thank you. That isn't kindness. That's sacrifice without purpose. That's a slow death disguised as virtue. And you weren't put here to die for the comfort of others. You were put here to live fully, unapologetically, fiercely. Every day you allow yourself to be used is a day you'll never get back. But every day you choose differently. Every day you protect your energy. Every day you honor your own boundaries. You reclaim what's yours: respect, strength, freedom. And when you do, you don't just change your life. You change the way the world sees you. Because people can sense when someone finally decides they will not be broken. It's in your eyes, in your voice, in the way you walk into a room. It's unshakable, undeniable, untouchable. And when you carry that energy, everything shifts. The wrong ones disappear. The right ones rise to meet you. And for the first time, you stand in a life that feels like it belongs to you. Not borrowed, not stolen, not diluted. Yours. This is not a small choice. This is the choice that decides everything. Either you keep pouring yourself out until there's nothing left, or you take a stand and finally claim the life you deserve. One path ends in regret, the other in freedom, and the power to decide has always been in your hands. This is the moment where everything inside you demands a decision. You cannot keep living split in two, one part of you craving freedom, the other chained to the weight of other people's expectations. The tension tearing you apart is proof that you are meant for more. You were not designed to exist as everyone's solution, while your own soul is left starving. You were meant to rise, and that rise begins the second you decide you will not give yourself away anymore. The world may resist at first. They may call you selfish. They may call you cold. But remember, people who benefited from your silence will always call your strength a problem. Their opinion is not truth. Their anger is not your responsibility. Their disappointment is not your burden to carry. Every time you stand firm, you are breaking the cycle they depended on to keep you small. And as you do, you will feel a power you've never felt before, the kind of power that doesn't ask permission, the kind of power that doesn't apologize, the kind of power that makes you unshakable, unstoppable, undeniable. That is the strength of someone who has finally chosen themselves. The urgency is real. Every day you wait is a day stolen. Every boundary you avoid is another piece of your life handed away. You are not running out of kindness, you are running out of time. And if you don't make the stand now, when will you? How many more years will you trade away before you finally realize you deserve more than scraps? You cannot keep waiting for the world to change. The change begins with you. The moment you speak your truth. The moment you claim your worth. The moment you decide that being kind to everyone is no longer an option, because your life is too valuable to waste on those who will never value you.